Hello, and welcome to I'll Knit With You. My name is Rebecca. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as EvilTwin2. You can find show notes on the blog, owlknitwithyou.blogspot.com. Our group on Ravelry is owlknitwithyou, or you can email me, owlknitwithyou@gmail.com. Hi! How are you guys? How are my owls and my yous? I've been really crazy busy, but before we talk about that, let's talk about Pize Winners. So, the winner of this full skein of Kindred Girl Knits yarn in the crawfish boil colorway is Hope Noel. So Hope, if you will send me a PM on Ravelry, I will get this mailed out to you. And then the winner of the mini skeins, also by Cajun Girl Knits. This is Sierra Echo 24. So Sierra Echo 24, send me a PM and I will send you some mini skeins. It's a pretty good way to start the show, right? Okay, so Blather. Oh my gosh, so much stuff has happened. I went to the Strange Folk Festival in St. Louis, and I really wasn't sure what to expect. It was like a mega huge craft fair, if that makes sense. I bought a lot of craft things, and there were 2 yarn vendors there. So I bought some stuff that I will show you here in a bit. They put it in the old Union Station in St. Louis, and that used to be a mall that was like really hopping, and now it's completely empty almost. And so they just filled all the storefronts with crafters, and it was really cool to see it full again. But it also kind of made you very aware of how empty it is whenever people aren't there. I have decided that 2016 is going to be my year of frogging. I'm going to frog a couple of things that I've made that I'm not quite in love with. I'll tell you more about that next show. I'm getting my pile ready, so I'm like, all right, this thing and this thing and this thing and this thing. The thing is that most things that I knit, I end up giving away just because, like, I don't know, I do that a lot, except for my socks. That's kind of weird. And so, the things that I have that I can frog are going to be what I frog. And so, if you guys would like to join me, I don't know if I'm going to make it a knit along yet, so much as just like a general 2016, let's not buy tons of yarn, and let's use our stashes, and let's reclaim sweaters we're not wearing, and that kind of stuff. So we'll see how that works out. I've got my list over here. So I started watching Heroes, the reboot of the Hero show, and it's set in Carbondale. One of the characters is set in Carbondale, and they set up Carbondale like it's Chicago, which I live 15 minutes from Carbondale, and it looks nothing like that. So that's really funny, and I really wanted to share that with you guys. I realize it's kind of ridiculous, but I was just like, is this supposed to be Carbondale? And like the guy goes to Chicago one night and then comes home for dinner, and I was like, that's a 7 or 6 hour drive, depending on what you're doing. This doesn't make any sense at all. Aside from watching TV, I have been reading a ton of books. I've read the whole Garth Nix Abhorsen series, which is, what is it? It's Sabriel, Lyriel, Abhorsen, and then he just wrote a new book called Clariel, and I think he's going to be adding some more books to it, and so that was really, really exciting. So, I read those books when I was like in high school, and now that there's new books, I had to start over and read them again. Oh no! But they're really good books. But because they're older, they don't have audible versions for most of them, so that was kind of a pain. I also read The Martian, and it's out in 3D. I read the book in one night because it was really good, and I just wanted to find out what happened. And like the movie's not bad, but it's not as amazing as the book is, which that's pretty generally the consensus. But it was a little bit disappointing. I mean, the movie wasn't disappointing, but I was looking forward to seeing some of the events that happened in the book happen in the movie, and they weren't there. So that's okay. And now I'm reading City of a Thousand Dolls, which is part. So I listen to a lot of podcasts, and one of them is a book club podcast, and of course you can listen to it at any pace that you like. And so I just picked it up, and I'm listening through it from the beginning, and this is the first thing on their book club is City of a Thousand Dolls. So that was kind of a good way to find new books, is to like, and then you get to hear someone discuss it and like talk about all the different things. And so I don't know, that just seemed like a really fun idea. So I'm gonna read that book before I listen to the next episode of that podcast. Pretty fun. I tried my hand at making some project bags over the last month. Well, early October, really. And what I have found is that I am not a very good seamstress. I did one of them as a swap thing for the house cup. Bless her heart. I was like, this turned out so bad. Do you still want it? And she was like, no, I'll work with that. So this is the first one that I made. And this orange part and the black part on bottom are supposed to be like equal heights. That did not work out. My purple lining is shorter than it's supposed to be, so I have like an inch of fabric where those don't meet. And so my bag isn't as deep as it should be because of that, because I goofed a lot of stuff up. And then my drawstring is like in a really awkward place. I don't know. I don't know what this would be good for, but it's not good for yarn. If it's like half a skein. So that didn't quite turn out. The one that she got was like a tall, slender thing. I was like, I don't really know what happened. This is the better bag. It's wide enough to fit a project, but I had some issues sewing in my ribbon, and so there's like, I cut a hole in the fabric to find my ribbon, and so when you pull it shut, like, it makes sense. It doesn't not make sense, but it's not exactly cute. I don't know. It's kind of an ugly bag, but it is reversible because the ribbon is all on the inside except for the fact that I sewed like 4 parts of this and I had to cut it open and then sew it back together. So, I mean, I will not be making a project bag Etsy store type thing anytime soon, but I did try, you know, some Halloween. It's you know, that's a thing that I know I can't do now. So that's okay with me. I set up a swap for you all for the I'll Knit With You podcast. There we go. It was a Halloween swap. I got some of my swap stuff. I'm not going to show you everything, but I'm going to show you some of the cool stuff that I got for show. So my swap partner is amazing, and she sent me so much stuff. So I got this beautiful yarn. I got a bunch of mini skeins, but I've already stuck those in my mini skein stash, and I'm adding them to a blanket. So I don't have them with me right now, but they were gorgeous. I got a really, really cute Halloween bag. Okay, so it's like, I was going to sew her a bag and send it to her, but this is embarrassing, so you did not get a bag. But this was my bag that I got. It says, "A haunting, we will go," which is just so super cute. I love this fabric. It's adorable. I haven't started crafting anything with my yarn yet because it's just so pretty. I've just been holding it. I need to put something in my project bag because I've got like a couple of weeks before October is over. She sent me this awesome camel from the local market. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? I got a smaller bag, and inside there was a delicious black chocolate, which I have abstained from eating so I could show it to you guys. And she is one of our podcasters podcast viewers from Qatar. So it says Qatar on my bag. Oh, and there's a camel in here, and I've got a camel. So it's all like, you know, that's what's up. And I got all sorts of cute Halloween items. This is not most of what she sent me, but it is a lot of what she sent me. That does not make any sense. But here are some, like, witchy things. These are, like, pins. And then there's suckers. I've been trying not to eat it because I wanted to show you guys. Then I didn't have time to podcast. And so I was like, Halloween, hold on. But I was just totally blown away. I hope that she gets and enjoys her package just as much as I've enjoyed mine. So, that was awesome. I hope everyone else who's swapping is doing well. I haven't seen a whole lot of stuff. I've seen 2 people on the boards talk about it. I wasn't sure if we should post pictures because then it's like, you don't want to gloat and be like, look at all the stuff that I got. But I like to know that everyone got their stuff. So if you feel comfortable posting a picture, post a picture. Obviously I showed you mine on the podcast, so then that's kind of my, got it. I messaged her when I got it too. So, because I was like, this is amazing. She sent me more stuff, which I'm going to show you in just a second. But first, yes, there's all things I was going to talk about in Blather. It's been long enough that I had to like make a list because I was like, I'm not going to remember the things that I need to be saying to you guys. So let's talk about blobbins. I have some. So at the, oh my gosh, words are hard sometimes. At the Strange Folk Festival, there were people who were selling non-yarn items that can easily be used for yarn items. So this is a makeup bag because the lining for it is like that slicky plastic stuff so that if something leaks or whatever, you're fine. But it's also a pretty popular project bag that is project bag material this Firefly cast. And so, if you've got this awesome slicky material, what better thing to use for it than to use it as a spinning bag, because then your fiber isn't getting stuck to the bag, right? So I was pretty excited about that. So my swap partner sent me some fiber, and I almost immediately started spinning it because it was so beautiful. So here's what it looks like on a bobbin. I spent half of it on a bobbin and half of it on a spindle that I bought at the Strange Folk Festival, because one of the yarn vendors there was selling Turkish spindles, and I have a Turkish spindle. It's a Knit Picks Turkish spindle, and I'm not in love with it. I like all of the concepts, but I really hate spinning on that spindle, and I don't know what it is. It just annoys the crap out of me. And so this is a much more, this is the fiber, by the way. This is it. It's a little bit split up because I've been splitting it to spin with, but I bought this very wee little Turkish spindle, and all the blue pieces glow in the dark. So that's kind of amazing. So it spins amazingly, and then these pop out, and then she sold this as a set. So you get the small legs and the spindle stick for like $15, or you could get the spindle stick, the small legs, and then a large set of legs. I'm calling these legs, by the way, for $20, and so, which is crazy cheap. But these were 3D printed, so I think that's part of the price reduction. So she's like, or not price reduction, but just like, you know, if someone had carved these out of wood, it would have been a whole lot more like time spent on them, I think. I've never made a spindle, so I'm not really sure how much each thing takes time-wise. So these are much bigger than this cross-section, you can see. And she's like, this is really good for plying. So you do all your little turtles, and then you ply on the big legs. And so I'm super pumped for that. I really like how this is going. I was trying to do it for Spinzilla, but like I just did not have time for Spinzilla, because one thing I forgot to put in my stinking Blather notes is I went to Kentucky Lake for my mom's birthday, and we were there from last Friday to Monday afternoon, evening-ish. And I brought my Turkish spindle to spin on, but like, you know, you're in a cabin full of family, you don't want to just sit and be... So I knit more than I spun, because I can make more eye contact that way. And I feel like people feel like you're not listening if you're not making eye contact. So, I did take this bag of lovely. Look at it. It just looks so happy in there. With its little, like, plastic cloth, slicky, no fibers getting stuck to me interior. I don't know. This just seems like a really good spinning bag. So, but anyway, at Kentucky Lake. So we went to eat, like, patties. And, we were renting a cabin with, like, 11 of us in there. Because my family loves to travel together. Like, all of my mom's side. We just get going to somewhere, and then we all just stay there for like 4 or 5 days, and it's awesome. And so we rented a cabin, and the guy we rented a cabin from also rents boats, because we were on the lake. And so we rented a boat and did that for a couple hours one day, and it got really cold. It was really fun. I've never really stayed on a lake before, so that was really awesome. And I don't know, it's always just nice to like be that close to your family and stuff like that. We played some games one night. We played Pize Winners, which was recommended to me by Engineers Falcon, who hosts an amazing podcast that's full of gaming stuff. But one, I was like, hey, I need to get my family, I think they would enjoy some smaller games, but can you recommend me? And she recommended me Pize Winners. And so it is my mom and dad's favorite game. They bought themselves a copy, which is cool, and so we played that for like several hours. It was awesome. And it's a little bit like Uno, but with, you add more rules every round, so it's really fun. And then, we actually, while we were in Kentucky area, they were having a hog festival, and at the hog festival was a lot of craft vendors and a lot of church, like, tents giving away free stuff, and amongst all of that, there were also people selling hand-spun yarn and fiber, and so I bought some stuff there as well, which I will show you shortly. But first, let's move on to woes and woes, and I wish that I was better at taking notes so that I wouldn't have to do everything out of order, but that's fine. Woes and woes. I have some serious woes. So I don't believe my mom watches this podcast, so I feel comfortable showing this to you guys. Back in April, around my birthday time, we went to the Stitches South in Nashville, and my mom and my sister-in-law each bought a pattern from the company Yoth Yarns, I think. And so this is what my mom picked out as a pattern, and it's just called 002. There's not like a fancy name for it, just numbers. And I said, hey, I'll knit it for you, but you have to buy the yarn yourself. And of course, it's a ridiculous amount of yarn, so it's very expensive. For someone who's not a knitter, she looks at that number and she's just like, well, I could just buy a sweater for like 4 or 5 sweaters for that much money. So I'm knitting it for her as a surprise Christmas gift. She doesn't know what it is. She's probably forgotten that she got the pattern on us, honestly, because she's not seen it since April. So this is all I can show you of it so far. If you want to see finished versions of this, I will link to stuff in the project notes, and there is obviously a link to the original pattern on my project page. And you knit it, it's like a vest, but you knit it across instead of up. And so I still have like another 7 inches across, because it's very like fold over itself, like you're basically knitting 3 sweaters instead of one thing. So it's a lot of yarn. It's like almost 2,000 yards, but it's cool. So this really will go this way, and then drapes, and it's beautiful. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. And worst case scenario, if she doesn't like it, I will happily wear this for her and get her a different Christmas present. We'll figure it out. So that's going really well. It's going a little slow. I finished 3 whole things of yarn. This is just Cascade 220. So that way she can wash it. It's the super wash kind. That way she can wash it and it doesn't accidentally like shrink it or something like that. I forget what the color rating is, but it is a lovely navy. And all the information's on my project page. So that's going really well. I'm also doing the Rock the Casbah. It's a shawl. Ooh, this is messy. And it looks really complicated. Like, it looks like it's a ton of color work in the original picture of it. Turns out, it's a whole lot of slip stitches. It is clever. It is a really clever shawl. I'm not really sure how well you're going to be able to see this because my needles aren't very long. So it's kind of unexciting so far. I need to knit a ton on this. I might be putting my mom's 002 down for a while and working on the Rock the Casbah. Guys, look, isn't that fun? Slip stitches, no joke. But this is part of my order mission for Harry Potter House Cup, and that I was trying to get done in time to turn it as a class. I was like, well, if I knit a ton on it, maybe I can do it. I cannot, in fact, do that because that is a heck of a lot of yarn. I am about 700 yards in, so I think that's pretty good A for effort, right? So this is my Rock the Casbah. It needs to be worked on, and I need to do that probably today, so I'll take that with me where I'm going, and work on that more. I have been working on my mitered square blanket. So the winner, Sierra Echo 24. Here's a little preview for you for the mini skeins. Or if any of the rest of you go and buy stuff from Cajun Girl Knits, here's a pretty good preview of what some of her yarns knit up look like. So in my mitered square blanket, that is backwards, she sent me some mini skeins as well, and so I put them all on my mitered square blanket. So now I realize I really would like to, I've been kind of taking this centerpiece and building on that. And at one point, my blanket went like this. It was going to be one of the ones where you did like the half squares across the bottom. And I didn't like that. And I saw some that were straight on. So then I added a bunch of squares to make mine straight on. And now I've decided I would like to do the border in size. So I do most of my squares, 10 stitches on each side. And the bigger ones are 20 stitches. And so I think I would like to do the border in 20 stitch squares. So here are a bunch of the different Cajun Girl Knits yarn in those 20 that's really hard to say. The 20 stitch squares. So this is the Powerpuff Girls. I should have written all of these down, but I didn't. These are some of the rainbow colors. This is the 4th of July one. I can probably figure these out if she gave us each the same set. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to say this is probably Heavenly Rainbow. This is probably Rainy Day Rainbow. These two, I think one of them is Old Miss and one of them is Hot Toddy. Or Hot Toddy is Old Miss and something Tigers. LSU. I'm pretty sure they're the sports team colors. Crawfish Boil. And then the Powerpuff Girls. I don't know what this one is. I thought that was part of that set. Anyway, so there's a lot of examples of her awesome self-stripingness. So it was very unhelpful, wasn't it? Let me show you these things, except I have no idea what they are. I really like this super bright neon rainbow one, because it's almost like this is what you normally think of as a rainbow, like it's a little bit more subdued colors. But this one just says, hey, it was raining and now it's all sunshine and everything's going to be awesome. So I really enjoyed that specific rainbow color. I also added this little hexy puff over, for heaven's sakes, this little square over here to even out this side. So I guess I'm going to do because I already have this side of small ones, so I'm not really sure how let's make the whole thing across the bottom be the big ones. Maybe I'll do a border of the smaller squares and then do this long thing at the side, or the top and bottom. I don't know, it's a Midas Square blanket. It doesn't have to make a whole lot of sense. That's how I feel about it. So, that's going slowly but surely. But I have been finding that I really want a finished blanket, which we'll talk more about here in just a minute, because Rebecca needs to stay away from yarn stores. Oh, I brought over my thing. So it's possible that those two non-self-striping colors are called Clark or Tucker, or maybe Clark Tucker is one yarn. She has it listed as a not self-striping yarn. So, as if that helps at all. I'm so sorry. That's very confusing. I've been working on my plum rondo a la Turk. Let's just change the subject. Oh no! My yarn just fell between my cushions. Lovely. I finished my sleeves, because they're just little, half sleeves. So, I got my half sleeves done. So, I got short little stubby arms, so that was pretty quick. No joke. And I have the bottom color work done. So I have this on really small needles, or the really small cable right now, so that I can do this and show off the whole thing. See how it kind of is a circle, right? So it's kind of hard to see, but there is my color work. Right. I think it looks pretty good. And I've got my measurements all figured out, so I know where I need to start doing decreases at, and I've already started doing some decreases. I have to get this yarn, I'm so sorry. So I think it's going pretty good. It feels like it's going pretty good. So, I mean, I need to work on both this is my owl, and my Order of the Phoenix. I need to work on them both, a ton more, because those deadlines are coming up. But it'll happen. It'll happen. Hopefully soon. I should do that. So, moving away from the woes and the woes, I have some defeated foes. So, I finished my QL slouch hat. I knit this whole thing while we were in Kentucky. This yarn was what we got at SSK for attending. It's our attendance yarn. And then the pattern is a woolly warm head pattern, and we all got a free pattern of her. So this is my free pattern and my yarn that I got in my bag at SSK. And so this yarn is stinking beautiful. Here, it's hazelnuts yarn, I believe. And so I wore this hat yesterday, but I hadn't blocked it yet, and I could tell because all of the lace felt really uptight, and so I blocked it when I got home, and it has really stretched out really nicely. I think it looks really good. The only problem that I have with this hat is that there are some eyelet holes, which are fine, except that my hair is short, and so sometimes my hair sticks out of the hole. So that's a little bit weird. But the hat in general is really lovely and very beautiful. And this is the QL slouch. And I didn't make it very slouchy because I've made a couple hats that were too slouchy recently. I'm looking at finished projects sitting around me. Too slouchy. So this one fits just right. It just covers my ears, which is how I like my hats. What do I have next for you? Oh, I finished my Viajante. Here's a picture of it. I don't have a finished picture of it on the person yet because I gave it to her right after I wove on my ends, basically. And it has not been, she hasn't worn it yet. I was asked for a picture whenever she wears it first, if she remembers. So hopefully I'll be getting that soon. So that turned out really well. I'm shocked I finished that in a month, but I think that's what invigorated me to try and finish the 002 in a month. Which I haven't completely given up on yet. It's just we're running out of days in October. Gotta finish some other projects. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. So I have a ton of stash to show you if you want to see that. And I don't blame you if you don't, because it's kind of ridiculous. So, I am going to get started, though. If I can get everything apart. So, at SSK, I made a lot of friends. And one of them's name is Hazel, and she's amazing if she's watching. And we ended up doing the sweater that I'm wearing now, actually. This is totally a coincidence. This is my 3-in-1 sweater. It looks like 3 sweaters, but it's one. And I had bought some, I want to say it was Blue Moon Fiber Arts yarn. That sounds right. Blue Moon Fiber Arts yarn, and it had crazy put up. It was like 660 yards to a skein or something crazy. So I had a ton left. And we traded for what I had left over. So she got my leftover yarn for this sweater, which, by the way, fits her perfectly. There's a picture of her wearing it in my project page, and she looks phenomenal. But we swapped for, she got that yarn, and I got this Fiber Optics. It's a Paintbox Gradient Footnotes yarn in the St. Patrick's Gradient colorway, and it's beautiful. I haven't even hardly taken it out of the box. I did squish it really quickly, so that's exciting. They're 80% superwash merino wool and 20% nylon. 15 mini skeins, 30 yards each, 450 yards total, 4.25 ounces per paintbox set. This is definitely going to be part of a sweater. I would love to get a dark gray or a light gray. I haven't decided yet. Or maybe, no. It'd be one or the other, right? Yeah. And then I'll do this as stripes, and the stripes will just get darker the farther down the sweater we go, right? So it's like, up on my face there's yellow, down by my waist there's dark green. I think that's what I want to do with it, but I'm super undecided, and I want to frog all of the things next year, and so that having 2 sweaters, like, ready to go, I'm not used to having sweater quantities of anything, and so I don't have the gray yarn for this yet anyway, but I don't know that I'm prepared to start the sweater or another sweater. I don't know. There's a whole lot of options that I haven't not figured out yet. So, what is next? Eat, Sleep, Knit gets all of my money. They were having a really good sweater sale where if you bought a sweater quantity of yarn, you got a sweater pattern for free. And so I bought the yarn for my mom's 002, and I got this awesome POK sweater for free. It's just a little short sleeve sweater. And the patterns on their site, most of them don't super appeal to me. Like, I don't know. They're not like, I'm not anti them. I'm not like, wow, I have to knit that. Here's the back of it. I'm trying not to show you any pattern. But it's got this, like, super duper lacy back. I don't know what I will knit this out of, when I will knit this, but I have this pattern and I got it for free, and that is very nice. But the whole reason I bought a ton of yarn from them for my mom's thing is because when you buy a sweater quantity, you get a yardage boost, and I was close enough. ESK marketing, so good. I was close enough that if I bought some yarn, I would get an instant $20 gift certificate. So I bought enough of the Cascade 220 to get that gift certificate. And I bought some dark gray yarn. Oh, hey, yeah, the colorway's on this one. It is called, where's the colorway on this yarn? Oh, 1924. I didn't know 220 didn't have exciting names. That's fine. So I also bought this gray wool. It's Manos del Uruguay, the Fino yarn. And this yarn is called Morning in the A Dye Lot. Just a nice dark gray. It is a single, so that's exciting. It's 490 yards. I can't talk about what this is going to be because I think that person might watch the podcast, but I don't know for sure if they do or not. And I'm going to try and find out. So, but it's very squishy and soft and lovely, and for whoever, the thing is, I might not have time to do this. I just showed you like several 1,000-yard projects that aren't going to get done on time to do anything with. So the fact that this might also not get done is not going to be surprised. This is a 2,000-yard project. So, just going to sit over here. But I ended up hitting my 10K for Eat, Sleep, Knit, which I think I have my, sorry, there's bags everywhere. This might get loud for a second. So at different levels of Eat, Sleep, Knit, you get different rewards. One of them was a $20 gift certificate for free, like an instant thing. And then I got enough to hit my next level up because I bought a whole lot of yarn. And I was supposed to get my 10K surprise kit. I didn't get it, and I messaged them. This has happened a couple times. I order several things at once, and they'll combine the packages because I ordered them in separate orders so that I could use different instant gift cards and that kind of stuff. And then stuff just gets missed. It's not a big deal. Usually what they'll say is, okay, well, on your next order, we'll throw it in there. Well, I'm impatient. And so I also ordered this unicorn tail in the mandala colorway. It's very, very pretty. I think this will probably just go to blanket squares because I just want to see it all by itself. I don't want anything else to intrude on its loveliness and its squishiness, so I'll probably just go right into some blankets, which I'm fine with. But they also sent me my 10K kit, which I was totally blown away by. So let me show you. They sent me this awesome, gorgeous yarn. This is Shoy Boy yarn in the Seema colorway. There's what it is. This is the lime colorway, or the Seema base lime colorway. Sorry, very cute, very green, very my palette. They sent these dynamite beads to go with it, and they sent this super wee crochet hook. It's a size 12, so you could do beading with it. And they sent this little, like, hey, this is a free Ravelry pattern. This is what pattern we are basing your kit on. And you can see there's little beads on there. And this is the jeweled cowl. Is that what this is going to be? I don't know for sure. This yarn is super luxurious. It's crazy soft. I would totally wear it on my neck, but I don't really wear cowls, even though it is 70% super baby alpaca and 30% fine merino wool. I don't know. I love it. So we'll see. I'm not opposed to that. You know, some things just don't appeal to you as wearing, but I might want to make it for someone. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Now all these festivals that I've been accidentally attending. So the Strange Folk Festival, Yarn Geek Fibers was there, and I love Yarn Geek Fibers. So I got this. This is the Blue Sword fiber. I bought a lot of fiber, guys. Bought mostly fiber. This will probably be for my friend Jessica, who was with me, and I've never made her anything, and so, because color palettes are hard to figure out. So I'm going to spin that, and she's going to help me figure out what it needs to be once she sees the yarn. She's not a knitter, so we're going to figure it out. I bought this one to go. I bought this after I bought my Turkish spindle. This is just a little bit of their fiber because it's an oops. So there's a mistake. It's not their normal colorway dye up. The slice of lemon with an oops is what it's called. It has some sparkle in it. I don't know if you can see that back there. Sparkle, sparkle. And I also, so this yarn, or this fiber, I picked it up and put it down probably 7 times. This is the Changing Rainbow. So one half of it is all gray, and the other half is a rainbow. And I think I want to fractal spin it, you guys. I think I want to fractal spin this rainbow. We will see. But I also just bought a whole thing of rainbow fiber. So that could go together, and this could just be, I don't even know. I'm super undecided about how to spin these prepared yarns. Sorry, I'm moving stuff around. Oh no, I buried a thing. Okay, so that's what I got from the Yarn Geek fiber at the Strange Folk Festival. And then Daisy Knits is where I got my spindle. And Jessica picked out this yarn for future socks for her, and then I forgot to measure her feet, so that was helpful. This is the We're All Mad Here colorway. It reminds me of some of the colorways of the Nerd Girl yarns, but like I think theirs has one more color in it, but I love this hot pink and dark purple colorway. Maybe even navy? I'm not sure what that is, but it's gorgeous. So I'm excited to knit socks for her whenever I get her foot measurements. At the Hog Festival, there was a person from one of the local fiber guilds there. So the fiber is just much more like solid color and more about what it's consistent of and less about the colorway. So this is a Romney Cheviot Cotswold Cross. There's 4.5 ounces. Because it's just, you know, the local person was only $18. Look at it, it's gorgeous. It's so fluffy. And then this green one is a wool and mohair blend, which is 3.6 ounces. But it's also really lovely. I like buying from local people because I feel like that probably came off their, what do you call it? Drum garter. I'm just doing the crazy thing right by my ear. Good job, Rebecca. You're intelligent. But, you know, I feel like, hey, I see this dude at other local festival events, and so I should buy from him. So the last thing that I bought is stupid and ridiculous. But damn it, Joann's has good coupons every once in a while. And I started to say that word, and I didn't realize I was cussing, and I apologize for that. I was at Joann's to buy some size 4 needles because I had knit my hat on size 4 needles and thought I had lost or left my size 4 needles at the cabin. And then it turns out they were in my spinning bag the whole time, which is frustrating beyond all belief. But I love size 4 needles. I use them for lots of projects. They're what I use for all of my blankets, my blanket squares, my hexie puffs, my miter squares. I mean, I use them a lot. I lose them a lot. I misplace them a lot. And so I bought 2 sets of just the Boyd needles, and I had a coupon for 50% off a non-sale item. Well, those were on sale because everything at Joann's is always on sale. And I turn around, and there is Pound of Love by Lion Brand. It's like 1,000 yards and probably enough to make a baby blanket. So I'm probably going to go back and get enough to make a regular adult blanket. And I've already been looking at different patterns that I can make with this. And I think I found one I like. And it's like 2,000 yards, but that's the same as knitting my mom a vest, apparently. So it's a mess. Do I need a blanket? Do I have time to knit a blanket? No. But this yarn cost me $5 for 1,000 yards. And it is acrylic, but it also means when I spill something on my blanket, I can wash it and not worry about it. So this is almost the same color as my sweater, by the way, because teal is the best color in the world. It's a little bit darker. And for acrylic, the Pound of Love is really soft. And I've read online reviews that say that it really gets soft after you wash and dry it. So I mean, I know it's acrylic, but $5 for 1,000 yards for a blanket. I can live with that. I plan on buying more, maybe a gray. I think it'd be fun to stripe it because then I wouldn't get quite as bored, even though there's lace and cables in this blanket. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not making any promises on when that's going to happen. I do know that this time when I proposed my owl, they told me that it was not enough yardage. And so I wouldn't mind having a bigger non-cloth item, like a non-clothed item as a project. So that might be something I could do. So, or if I ever get to do a newt, which you have to have 4 owls finished to do a newt. If I ever get to do a newt, I'd love to do a blanket for a newt. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I'm sorry that I was kind of all over the place, but you know, it happens when I don't talk to you guys for like a month. I missed you. I'm glad we're back together. I missed you so much. People who won prizes contacted me. So again, that was Hope Noel gets the full skein and Sierra Echo 24 gets the mini skeins. Excited for you guys. And I hope you all have like an awesome week. And remember, if you know what your plans are or you've got no idea what you're doing today, I'll knit with you. Bye, guys.